A Nazi official sits in a Nuremberg prison cell on October 24th, 1945. 3 days ago, he received his indictment. Count 1, conspiracy to wage aggressive war. Count 3, war crimes, mistreatment of prisoners and civilian populations. Count 4, crimes against humanity, murder, extermination, enslavement, persecution. Robert Ley commanded 25 million German workers, built labor camps where people died in thousands, shipped humans across borders like cargo. Now he waits for trial in a cell 8 feet by 13. The trial starts November 20th. He will not live to see it. What drives a man from ruling millions to a towel noose in 24 hours? What happens when empire becomes 8 by 13 concrete? Robert Ley controlled German labor from May 1933 to May 1945. Head of the Deutsche Arbeitsfront, the German Labor Front, Reichsleiter in Hitler's inner circle, 25 million members under his command. He dissolved every trade union in Germany and replaced them with one organization loyal only to the Reich. Workers could not strike, could not negotiate, could not leave. They called it socialism. The Allies called it slavery. Under his watch, foreign laborers were dragged into Germany from Poland, France, Soviet territories, Netherlands, Belgium. Millions worked in mines, factories, farms. Thousands died. Malnutrition, exhaustion, beatings. Ley supervised recruitment. Ley approved conditions. Ley signed orders. By May 1945, the Reich was ash. Hitler dead in the Führer bunker on April 30th. Goebbels dead the next day. Himmler captured and dead by cyanide. May 23rd. The men who built the machine were gone. Ley ran. If you value documented World War II and Nazi Germany history like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work. Also comment from which city you're hearing this from. This script is researched and factual, using sources from the International Military Tribunal records, held at Cornell Law School's Donovan Nuremberg Trials collection, published October 1945, and Douglas Kelly's Psychiatric Evaluations, archived at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. Documented summer through fall 1945. We're pulling from official military reports, not secondary summaries. Now back to the information. April 20th, 1945. Ley sees Hitler for the last time. Führer bunker, central Berlin, Hitler's 56th birthday. The city is surrounded. Soviet artillery pounds the streets. Ley expects orders. Hitler gives none. Next day, Ley leaves for Bavaria, southern mountains near Berchtesgaden, the Alpine redoubt that never materializes. Hitler stays in Berlin. Ley is unemployed. No orders, no purpose. Reich collapses. May 16th, 1945. Village of Schlecking, Bavaria. American paratroopers, 101st Airborne Division, kick down a door. Shoemaker's house. Man inside wears blue pajamas and a green Tyrolean hat, balding, stammering. Says he is Dr. Ernst Distelmeyer. The soldiers do not believe him. They bring in Franz Xaver Schwarz, Nazi party treasurer. Schwarz walks in and shouts, "Well, Dr. Ley, what are you doing here?" Cover blown. Ley is captured. He fumbles for poison. Fails. Claims heart attack. The Americans take him to Mondorf-Lisbon, Luxembourg. Hotel converted to detention center. Code name Ashkan. The prison holds captured Nazi leadership. Göring, Ribbentrop, Keitel, Speer. Ley joins them. Summer 1945. American psychiatrist Douglas Kelly arrives. Major, chief psychiatrist at Nuremberg. His mission: assess mental fitness to stand trial. Can these men face justice, or are they insane? Kelly interviews Ley extensively. Administers Rorschach tests. Records observations. Ley cannot sit still. Confuses words. Misnames flowers. Cannot construct coherent sentences. Shouts mid-conversation. Erratic. Kelly suspects frontal lobe damage. Ley's aircraft was shot down over France in July 1917. Prisoner of war for 2 years. Crash possibly caused brain injury. Ley stammers for life. Drinks heavily. Violent outbursts. Kelly notes poor judgment, emotional instability, impaired reasoning. Still, Kelly cannot diagnose with certainty. Ley might be declared incompetent, might avoid trial, but Kelly needs proof, physical proof. Ley's brain. August 1945. Prisoners transferred from Luxembourg to Nuremberg. Palace of Justice. Attached prison. Cells in East Wing. Each cell has bench bed against wall. Primitive toilet. Wooden table. Rickety chair. Deliberately weakened so prisoners cannot stand on them to hang themselves. Single light bulb. Guards watch through door slot. The trial location chosen deliberately. Nuremberg. Holy city of Nazism. Site of massive rallies. Now site of reckoning. Lord Justice Geoffrey Lawrence will preside. British. Prosecutors from 4 powers. United States. Robert Jackson. Britain Hartley, Shawcross, France, François de Menton. Soviet Union, Roman Rudenko. 24 men indicted. Hitler dead, Goebbels dead, Himmler dead. Bormann, missing, whereabouts unknown. Gustav Krupp, too ill, 24-3. Ley is number 21. October 6th, 1945. Different cell. Dr. Leonardo Conti, Reich, health leader, SS Obergruppenführer, architect of action, T4 euthanasia program, over 200,000 killed. Mental patients, disabled children, hospitals became death chambers. Conti knew he faced doctor's trial, knew the evidence, photographs, documents, witness statements. Conti tears his blanket, makes noose, hangs himself. Guards find him. Too late. First suicide at Nuremberg. Colonel Burton Andrus commands the prison, promises no more suicides. Implements new measures. Chairs removed from cells at night. Daytime chairs cannot touch walls. Guards check cells every 30 seconds. Constant surveillance. Lights flash into cells every 15 minutes during night. Suicide watch. Ley knows Conti is dead. Knows security increased. Knows the window closing. October 18th, 1945. Berlin. 4 prosecutors file indictment. 24 names. Robert Ley among them. Document travels to Nuremberg. Will be served to defendants. 3 days away. Ley waits in cell. Writes letters. Reads provided materials. Speaks with Gustav Gilbert, prison psychologist, American, fluent German. Gilbert interviews defendants daily. Records conversations. Ley tells Gilbert, "How can I prepare defense? Am I supposed to defend myself against crimes I knew nothing about? Stand us against wall and shoot us, you are victors. But why should I be brought before tribunal like a criminal? Cannot get word out. Stammers, frustrated, indignant." Gilbert observes, notes emotional state. Ley believes himself unjustly accused. Believes labor programs serve Germany. Believes charges unfair. Gilbert sees delusion, sees denial. Ley does not accept guilt, does not accept consequences. October 21st, 1945. Morning. Guards deliver indictment. Ley receives document, reads charges. Count 1 common plan. Conspiracy to wage aggressive war violation international law treaties. Count 3 war crimes, including mistreatment prisoners of war, civilian populations. Count 4 crimes against humanity, murder, extermination, enslavement, civilian populations, persecution on racial, religious, political grounds. Ley's name attached to slave labor, to deaths, to suffering. Evidence listed, witness names, documentary proof. Ley reads hours, cannot escape facts. Documents signed with his name, orders issued under his authority, reports filed to his office. The paper trail leads to him. Ley realizes, no escape, no defense. Evidence overwhelming. 3 days pass. October 22nd, October 23rd. Ley paces cell. Speaks to no one of plans. Eats meals, drinks coffee, smokes cigarettes. Americans provide tobacco. Food adequate, cell warm, reading materials available, physical needs met. Ley writes, leaves note reads, "I cannot stand this shame any longer. Physically, nothing is lacking. Food is good. It is warm in my cell. Americans are correct and partially friendly. Spiritually, I have reading matter and write whatever I want. I receive paper and pencil. They do more for my health than necessary, and I may smoke and receive tobacco and coffee. I am reconciled with God. I implore his mercy and his pity, and I pray for it sincerely. Now comes sweet death savior of all my suffering. To my Inga and to my Führer." Second note surfaces. Different tone. "We have forsaken God, and therefore we were forsaken by God. We put human volition in place of his godly grace. In anti-Semitism, we violated basic commandment of his creation. Anti-Semitism distorted our outlook, and we made grave errors. It is hard to admit mistakes, but whole existence of our people is in question. We Nazis must have courage to rid ourselves of anti-Semitism. The contradiction stark. Loyalty to Führer, admission of anti-Semitic error. 2 minds, 2 notes. Both left behind. October 24th, 1945. Final day. Morning routine. Breakfast delivered. Ley eats. Guard watches through slot. 2-hour shifts. 4-hour rotation. 3 days on, 3 days off. Standard assignment. Each guard monitors 4 cells. Cannot speak to prisoners. Cannot break surveillance. Ley appears normal. Morning passes. Afternoon. Ley sits, stands, paces. Normal movements for prisoner. Guards see nothing unusual. Evening approaches. Dinner delivered. Ley eats. 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Light outside fading. Cells artificially lit. Guards continue rotation. 7:45. Ley tears edge off GI towel. Standard military issue. Cotton fabric. Strong enough. Soaks towel strip in toilet water. Makes it pliable. Ties strip around toilet pipe. Pipe runs up walls to metal. Fixed. Strong. Ley rips pieces from underwear. Stuffs fabric into mouth. gags himself, cannot cry out, cannot alert guards. 7:45 p.m. Ley loops towel around neck, twists body, towel tightens. Cut circulation. He collapses onto toilet. Toilet recessed. Alcove design. From door slot, only legs visible. Sitting position appears normal. Prisoner using toilet. Guards trained not to stare, give privacy. Ley hangs there. Minutes pass. 8 o'clock. Guard passes on routine check. Sees legs. Assumes Ley sitting. Continues patrol. 8:10 p.m. Corporal of guard arrives. Evening collection. Eyeglasses must be turned in nightly. Prevents suicide attempts. Sharp objects. Corporal knocks. Ley's glasses, please. No response. Knocks again. Ley. No response. Unusual. Corporal unlocks door. Opens. Sees body. Arms dangling. Head slumped. Towel tight around neck. Corporal shouts. Dr. Flicker runs. Prison physician. Administers heart stimulant. Attempts artificial respiration. 20 minutes? Nothing. No pulse. No breath. Robert Ley dead. Age 55. 6 months after capture. 1 month before trial. Suicide successful despite precautions, despite surveillance, despite promise of no escapes. Colonel Andrus notified immediately. Failure. Second suicide. Promise broken. Medical examination begins. Lieutenant Colonel Rene Uchley, Chief Medical Officer, makes official report. Time of death approximately 8 o'clock. p.m. October 24th, 1945. Cause strangulation. Self-inflicted. Notes found in cell body photographed. Cell photographed. Evidence preserved. Andrus orders increased security. Future defendants will sleep hands outside blankets. Tables will collapse under weight. Razors banned. Neckties banned. Shoelaces banned. Daily cell searches during exercise periods. Every measure to prevent repeat. But damage done. Ley escaped justice. No trial. No testimony. No verdict. No execution. Clean death. Quick. Private. He chose his moment. Controlled his end. The slave master of millions died on his terms. Douglas Kelly learns of death. Opportunity. The brain. Proof of frontal lobe damage. Kelly asks colleague, Dr. Najib Clam, Army pathologist, remove Ley's brain, secretly. Nuremberg morgue. Night operation. Clam performs extraction. Brain placed in formaldehyde. Put in wooden crate. Label reads spices. Shipped transatlantic. Destination Washington, D.C. Army Institute of Pathology. Recipient Dr. Webb Haymaker, neuropathologist, renowned expert. Kelly sends letter, examine for frontal lobe damage, prove diagnosis, show Nazi leaders had organic brain disorders, explain their behavior, find the Nazi personality. Haymaker dissects brain, prepares slides, glass microscope slides, thin sections, stained tissue, examines under magnification, weeks pass. Haymaker writes back, findings mixed. Evidence shows long-standing degenerative process frontal lobes, chronic encephalopathy, sufficient duration degree to impair mental emotional faculty. But Haymaker cannot determine cause. Could be trauma from aircraft crash, could be alcohol abuse. Ley drank heavily for decades. Haymaker writes second letter. Privately. Brain abnormalities lesser scope than first believed. Personally, I think maybe we better let whole thing lie buried. Degree of change could be subject to difference of opinion. Not clear proof, not definitive. Kelly's hypothesis crumbles. He sought Nazi virus, common pathology, shared defect explaining atrocities. Found none. Rorschach tests showed Nazi leaders psychologically normal. IQ tests showed high intelligence. Average score 128, very superior range. Göring scored 138. Schacht 143. Smart men, sane men, evil men, no pathology, no excuse, just choices. Kelly struggles with conclusion. If Nazis were normal, anyone could become Nazi. Neighbor, colleague, self. The implications haunt him. Kelly returns to United States, writes book, lectures, becomes minor celebrity, but findings disturb him. 1958, January 1st, Kelly at home. Swallows cyanide capsule, same method as Göring, 12 years after Nuremberg. Douglas Kelly takes own life, age 45. The psychiatrist who studied Nazi minds died like his favorite subject. Ley's body moved quickly. Same night, October 24th, box lined with butcher paper. Taken to Nuremberg Cemetery, Südfriedhof, Southern Cemetery, interred unmarked grave, no ceremony, no marker, no record of exact location. Authorities fear neo-Nazi shrine. Same fate later for executed war criminals. Bodies burned at Dachau, ashes scattered in Isar River. Erase the trace, deny the martyrs. Ley buried with Leonardo Conti, both suicides. both avoiding justice, both anonymous in death. Cemetery still exists, graves unmarked. Visitors cannot find them, cannot pay respects, cannot create memorials. Intentional erasure. Ley vanished. November 20th, 1945. Trial begins. Palace of Justice. 21 defendants present. Ley's chair empty. Martin Bormann tried in absentia. Gustav Krupp excused illness. 21 sit and dock. Göring, Ribbentrop, Keitel, Kaltenbrunner, Rosenberg, Frank, Frick. Streicher, Sokol, Jodl, Seyss-Inquart, Speer, Neurath, Dönitz, Raeder, Schirach, Funk, Papen, Schacht, Fritzsche, Hess. They face 4 judges, 8 total, 2 per nation. Lawrence presiding. Simultaneous translation, 4 languages, English, French, German, Russian. 216 court sessions, 403 open sessions across 10 months. Evidence presented, documents, thousands of pages, photographs, film footage, witness testimony, concentration camp survivors, military records, orders signed, or reports filed. Tonnage of paper proving tonnage of death. Prosecutors present case. Jackson's opening. November 21st, Ley's framework. These defendants were the brains of the Nazi conspiracy, leaders who planned waged-directed wars of aggression, created instruments of terror, operated camps, enslaved populations, murdered millions. Evidence, not testimony alone, documents, Nazis' own words, own records, own photographs. Cannot deny, cannot deflect. Jackson speaks 4 hours, sets tone. This trial's purpose, not vengeance, but justice. Not victor's justice, but law. Establish precedent. Individuals accountable. Cannot hide behind state, cannot claim superior orders, personal responsibility, personal consequences. Trial continues through summer 1946. Defendants testify, some admit, some deny, some deflect. Göring defiant. Speer accepts responsibility. Hess claims amnesia. Ribbentrop blames Hitler. Keitel says following orders. Patterns emerge. Denial, minimization, blame shifting. Same patterns Ley would have shown, but Ley absent, cannot testify, cannot deflect, cannot face accusers. October 1st, 1946. Verdicts: Göring death, Ribbentrop death, Keitel death, Kaltenbrunner death, Rosenberg death, Frank death, Frick death, Sokol death, Jodl death, Seyss-Inquart death, Streicher death, Bormann death in absentia. 12 death sentences. 3 life sentences. Hess, Funk, Raeder, 4 prison terms. Dönitz, 10 years. Schirach, 20 years. Speer, 20 years. Neurath, 15 years. 3 acquittals. Schacht, Papen, Fritzsche, 22 tried. 19 convicted. 12 to hang. Ley would have hanged. Evidence clear. Slave labor director. Crimes against humanity proven. Count 3 proven. Count 4 proven. Probably count 1 proven. Conspiracy. Aggressive war. Ley in Hitler's inner circle from 1932. Witnessed planning. Participated in execution. Enabled war machine. Guilty on all counts. Death sentence certain. But Ley chose death October 24th, 10 months early. Different method. Private. Controlled. October 16th, 1946. Early morning. 1 a.m. Gymnasium. Palace of Justice. Executions begin. Wooden gallows. Standard drop method. Master Sergeant John Woods, executioner. 11 men hang. Göring escapes. Cyanide capsule. 10 p.m. October 15th. Hours before execution. Found dead in cell. How he obtained capsule, never fully explained. Security failure. Woods hangs. 10. Ribbentrop first. 1:16 a.m. Keitel, Kaltenbrunner, Rosenberg, Frank, Frick, Streicher, Sokol, Jodl, Seyss-Inquart. Each walks to gallows. Black hood, noose, trap drops. Strangulation takes minutes, not instant. Witnesses report, not clean deaths. Bodies left hanging, then removed. Photographed, placed in coffins, transported to Dachau, cremated. Ashes gathered, driven to Munich, scattered in Isar River tributary, stream called Menzbach. Secret location, done at night. No witnesses, no records of exact spot. Bodies erased, ashes dispersed, nothing remains. Göring cremated separately. Ashes scattered separately, all vanish. Ley already gone. 10 months in grave. Avoided hanging, avoided photography, avoided final humiliation, death on own terms. What remains? Documents, Ley's files at Nuremberg extensive, letters, orders, reports. Evidence of German labor, front operations, strength through joy program, Kraft durch Freude, organized vacations, entertainment, sports, facade of worker happiness, beneath facade, coercion, control, no unions, no strikes, no choice, workers trapped, foreign workers worse. Conscripted, transported, worked to death. Documentation extensive. Names, numbers, locations, railway schedules, camp rosters, death rates, medical reports. Ley's signature appears throughout. Approved transfers, approved camp constructions, approved labor quotas, new conditions, new death rates, continued operations, increased quotas, more workers needed, more work to death. Cycle continued until May 1945. Ley responsible, evidence undeniable. His suicide changed nothing. Guilt established, legacy determined. History judges him guilty. Glass slides remain Ley's brain. Webb Haymaker preserved sections, sent slides to Kelly. Kelly kept them. After Kelly's death, 1958, papers archived, eventually donated, Hoover Institution, Stanford University, California. Archives contain case files, Rorschach tests, correspondence, photographs, glass slides labeled Robert Ley, brain sections visible, tissue stained, mounted, preserved. Decades later, researchers find them, examine, analyze modern neuroscience methods. Findings confirm Haymaker, frontal lobe degeneration present. Cause unclear, could be trauma, could be alcohol, could be both. Damage insufficient to cause complete mental incompetence. Impaired judgment, yes. Erratic behavior, yes. But functional? Understood actions, understood consequences, knew right from wrong, chose wrong. Brain damage, mitigating factor, not excusing factor. Ley responsible, suicide confirmed it. New guilt, new evidence, new verdict coming. Chose escape, chose control, chose timing. Last decision of life, death on own terms, trial transcripts archived, Cornell Law School. Donovan Nuremberg Trials collection, over 3,000 documents, indictments, testimonies, evidence exhibits, photographs, film, audio recordings, complete record, accessible online, public resource, researchers access, student study, Ley's indictment preserved, charges listed. Evidence cited, witness statements included, everything prepared for trial never held, prosecution ready, defense assigned, lawyer appointed, Otto Kranzbuehler initially, then reassigned after suicide. No trial needed, guilt established by documentation, verdict reached by history. Sentence executed by own hand, justice denied but guilt affirmed. Survivors remember, Polish workers forced to Germany, Soviet prisoners sent to factories, French civilians conscripted, Dutch families separated, Belgian workers transported, all under Ley's organization. German Labor Front coordinated, provided workers to Speer's armaments, to Sokol's labor program, to private companies, Krupp, IG Farben, Siemens. Workers died in thousands. Malnutrition, disease, exhaustion, beatings, accidents, insufficient food, insufficient shelter, insufficient medical care, worked until death, replaced by new shipment, system designed by Ley, operated under Ley, continued by Ley. 1933 to 1945, 12 years, millions processed, hundreds of thousands died, numbers documented, names recorded, graves marked, Ley's victims remembered, Ley forgotten in unmarked grave, poetic justice. He erased their humanity, history erased his location, 24 hours, October the 23rd, 7:45 p.m. to October 24th, 7:45 p.m. Ley alive, breathing, eating, thinking, planning, writing notes, preparing materials, tearing towel, testing strength, checking guard rotations, noting blind spots, toilet alcove perfect, cannot be seen from door slot, security oversight, Conti hanged in visible location, guards increased surveillance. But architectural flaw remained, recessed toilets, privacy for prisoners, death zone for desperate men. Ley found it, exploited it, waited for a moment, 7:45, guard rotation gap, minutes between checks. Long enough? He moved, towel around neck, twist, collapse. Unconsciousness, death, minutes, quick, relatively painless. Strangulation causes unconsciousness before death. Brain oxygen cut, blackout, no pain, no fear, no prolonged suffering. Cleaner than hanging, cleaner than cyanide, cleaner than facing accusers, facing victims. Facing verdict, facing rope, final mystery. How did he know? Toilet pipe strong enough? Towel strip strong enough? Body weight sufficient for strangulation in collapsed position? Angle correct for compression? Duration sufficient for death before discovery? Ley had no training. No medical knowledge beyond chemistry degree, no suicide manual, only determination, only observation. Had watched Conti removed, had seen security changes, had studied cell, had calculated chemist's mind, problem solving, variables, solution, method determined, timing calculated, execution completed, success. Robert Ley, born February 15th, 1890, died October 24th or 25th, 1945. Sources differ by day. Death declared October 25th. Likely died October 24th evening. Discovered October 24th, 8:10 p.m. Declared dead. October 25th, official record. Either way, 55 years. 30 of them in Nazi movement, 20 of them in party leadership, 12 at labor front, 0 at trial. Life ended in cell, 8 by 13 feet. Smaller than office, smaller than bedroom, smaller than life once commanded, from controlling millions to controlling nothing, from issuing orders to receiving orders, from master to prisoner, from power to powerlessness, could not accept, would not accept, chose exit. American guards blamed, security failed. Colonel Andrus blamed Göring suicide, year later doubles blame. Andrus relieved December 1946, career tarnished, legacy forever second suicide, Ley's death preview, Göring's death confirmation, system flawed. Determined prisoners find way, cyanide smuggled, towels torn, pipes used, chairs weakened but pipes remained, toilets necessary but alcoves dangerous, architecture defeated security, privacy defeated surveillance, human ingenuity defeated precautions. Ley proved it, Göring confirmed it. Andrus removed for failures, lived with guilt, wrote memoir, defended decisions, blamed circumstances, never fully accepted responsibility, died 1977, lay 32 years in grave. Both men controlled fates. Both men chose deaths on own terms. Both men escaped consequences. Ley escaped trial. Andrus escaped full accountability. Göring escaped hangman. Victims escaped nothing. Worked until death. Starved until death. Beaten until death. No choice. No control. No escape. Only suffering. Only death. Ley gave them death. Took death for himself. Different deaths. His chosen. Theirs imposed. History records difference. Nuremberg established precedent. Individuals accountable for war crimes. Superior orders no defense. State sovereignty no shield. Crimes against humanity prosecuted. International Tribunal legitimate. Evidence-based prosecution standard. Documentary proof emphasized. Witness testimony corroborated. Standards established. International Military Tribunal became model. Later tribunals follow. Yugoslavia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Cambodia. Nuremberg principles applied. Individuals tried. Leaders accountable. War crimes prosecuted. Crimes against humanity punished. Genocide recognized. Legal framework established November 1945. Continues today. International Criminal Court. Hague Tribunals. National courts using universal jurisdiction. Nuremberg's legacy. Lay part of that legacy. Indicted under those counts. Would have been tried under those standards. Would have been convicted under that evidence. Would have been sentenced under those precedents. Death sentence certain. But Ley absent. Precedent established without him. Justice achieved without his trial. Principle. Proven guilt. Established legacy. Determined. 21 defendants enough. 12 executions enough. Message sent. Leaders accountable. No escape through rank. No hiding behind orders. Personal responsibility. Personal consequences. Ley's absence noted. Prosecutors mention. Judges acknowledge. 24 indicted. 22 tried. Ley and Bormann absent. Ley by suicide. Bormann by disappearance. Trials proceed without them. Evidence presented anyway. Ley's role documented. Labor front operations exposed. Slave labor system detailed. Death tolls calculated. Witnesses testify about conditions. Documents show Ley's authority. Signatures prove knowledge. Orders demonstrate intent. Guilt established even without trial. Historical record complete even without testimony. Ley convicted by documentation. Sentenced by history. Executed by own hand. Unofficial verdict, unanimous guilty. Unofficial sentence death. Officially delivered. October 24th, 1945. Self-administered. 8:10 p.m. discovery confirms. Ley achieved what he sought. Death on own terms. Avoided trial. Avoided testimony. Avoided verdict announcement. Avoided execution spectacle. Avoided photographs. Avoided final humiliation, but achieved nothing else. Guilt remains. Evidence remains. Documentation remains. Legacy determined. History judged. Verdict stands. Robert Ley guilty. War criminal. Crimes against humanity. Murderer of thousands. Enslaver of millions. Dead by own hand, buried unmarked, forgotten except as cautionary tale. What happens when ideology trumps humanity? When obedience replaces morality? When efficiency justifies atrocity? Ley embodied all three: created system, operated system, defended system, until evidence arrived, until indictment served, until reality undeniable, then fled. Only escape available. Towel, noose, toilet pipe. 8 o'clock, evening. October 24, 1945. One detail survives. Post-mortem examination, medical examiner notes, Ley's neck shows ligature marks, towel pattern imprinted, hyoid bone intact, strangulation confirmed, petechial hemorrhages, eyes, oxygen deprivation, cyanosis face, blood pooling, time of death estimated between 7:45 and 8:10 p.m., window of 25 minutes, discovery 8:10, death likely 7:55, 10-minute gap, guard rotation, architectural blind spot, timing perfect, Ley calculated correctly, chemist to end, variables measured, outcome predicted, experiment successful, subject deceased, Robert Ley final contribution to science, proof that determined prisoner defeats surveillance, proof that architecture matters, proof that privacy enables suicide, lessons learned, future prisons designed differently, cells fully visible, no alcoves, no blind spots, transparent toilets, 24-hour lighting, video surveillance, modern prisons prevent Ley's method, technology defeated privacy, security defeated architecture. But too late for Nuremberg, too late for Ley, too late for justice. October 24, 1945, 25 minutes, towel, pipe, toilet, death, escape. Ley's final 24 hours ended in 8 by 13 cell, concrete walls, metal toilet, cotton towel, one life, 55 years. Final minutes, self-determined. History remembers, research documents, evidence preserves, glass slides remain, brain tissue visible, pathology recorded, guilt established, archives hold complete record. International Military Tribunal documents, 3,000 pages. Indictment filed October 18th, charges detailed. Count 1, paragraph 5, subsection 3 mentions Ley by name, conspiracy to wage aggressive war from 1933 onward. Ley joined Inner Circle 1932, witnessed planning meetings, attended strategy sessions, new war preparations, labor mobilization. His responsibility, count 3, paragraph 8, lists specific violations. Deportation civilian populations for slave labor. Ley's labor front coordinated transports, railways scheduled, destinations assigned, workers shipped, Poland 1939, France 1940, Soviet territories 1941, Netherlands, Belgium 1942, millions moved, thousands died in transit, starvation, disease, exposure, transport conditions documented, cattle cars, no sanitation, no food, no water, days without relief, Ley approved schedules, Ley approved numbers, Ley approved methods, count 4 most damning, crimes against humanity, murder, extermination, enslavement, persecution. Paragraph 12, section 4, German labor front operations, strength through joy, facade hid brutal reality, foreign workers enslaved, concentration camp prisoners, leased to factories, payment went to SS, not prisoners, workers received nothing, worked until death, replaced immediately. Industrial murder, efficient, systematic, documented. Ley's organization brokered deals, matched workers to factories, negotiated rates, collected fees, profited from slavery, evidence overwhelming, contracts preserved, letters archived, memos filed, Ley's signature throughout. Cannot deny, cannot deflect, cannot claim ignorance, his organization, his authority, his responsibility, his guilt. Prosecutors prepared, witness list, 47 planned for Ley case, 12 survivors, Polish workers from Krupp factories, Soviet prisoners from coal mines, French civilians from construction sites, Dutch workers from aircraft plants, all would testify. Beatings, starvation, deaths witnessed, colleagues disappeared, friends died, families separated, testimony would be devastating. Survivors waiting in Nuremberg, October 1945. Preparing statements, ready to face Ley, ready to tell truth, ready for justice. Ley's suicide denied them no confrontation, no testimony, no looking defendant in eyes, no speaking truth to power, no catharsis, no closure, justice denied, survivors frustrated, prosecutors frustrated, judges frustrated, but trial proceeded. Evidence presented anyway, documents spoke for witnesses, photographs showed conditions, statistics proved death tolls, testimony unnecessary, guilt provable without survivors, but survivors deserved moment, deserved voice, deserved confrontation. Ley denied them. Final act of control. Final abuse of power. Escaped accountability. Escaped shame. Escaped victims. Eyes. Ley's defense attorney prepared strategy. Otto Kranzbühler, initially assigned. Kriegsmarine legal expert. Later represented Dönitz successfully. Limited sentence. 10 years. Good defense counsel. But Ley's case different. Evidence stronger. Crimes clearer. Defense options limited. Superior orders. Defense prohibited. Nuremberg Charter Article 8. Acting under government orders. No defense. Can mitigate sentence. Cannot absolve guilt. Kranzbühler planned mitigation strategy. Brain damage evidence. Kelly's diagnosis. Diminished capacity. Not insane, but impaired. Might reduce culpability. Might avoid death sentence. Might secure life imprisonment instead. Weak strategy, but only strategy. Evidence overwhelming. Guilt undeniable. Best hope mitigation. Life instead of death. Prison instead of rope. Ley never heard strategy, never consulted, never approved. Dead 3 days after indictment. Defense prepared for nothing. Files archived unused. Strategy untested. Questions unanswered. Could brain damage have saved Ley? Probably not. Kelly thought maybe. But prosecution had evidence. Documentation proved competence. Orders clear. Communications coherent. Decisions rational. Brain damage insufficient defense. Death sentence likely. Rope inevitable. Ley knew it. Chose towel instead. Trial would have revealed more. Labor front operations fully exposed. Ley would have been questioned. Jackson's cross-examination brutal, detailed, document by document, order by order, signature by signature. When did you sign this? What did you know then? Why did you approve this? Who told you what? Step-by-step reconstruction? No escape, no deflection. Jackson did this to Göring. 11 days cross-examination. Göring fought back, defended Hitler, defended Reich, defended actions. Still convicted, still sentenced death, still hanged. Ley less articulate than Göring. Stammered, confused words. Brain damage evident. Would have appeared worse on stand. Confused, erratic. Angry outbursts, damaged. But guilt still clear. Documents still signed. Orders still issued. Crimes still committed. Prosecution would have destroyed him. Witnesses would have destroyed him. Evidence would have destroyed him. His own words would have destroyed him. Letters preserved. Speeches recorded. Wrote about extermination. Spoke about elimination. Public statements. We swear we are not going to abandon struggle until the last Jew in Europe has been exterminated and is actually dead. May 1943. Public speech. Recorded. Transcribed. Evidence. Genocide advocacy. Open. Public. Recorded. Ley's own words condemning him. More speeches preserved. 1939. We believe in this earth in Adolf Hitler alone. We believe in National Socialism as creed, which is sole source of grace. We believe that Almighty God has sent us Adolf Hitler. Cult worship. Fanaticism. Ideology over humanity. Everything prosecutors needed. Show fanatical devotion. Show ideological commitment. Show willingness to commit atrocities for belief. Ley embodied Nazi fanaticism. Speeches proved it. Actions proved it. Loyalty proved it. Last words proved it. Suicide note. To my Inga and to my Führer. Still loyal. Still devoted. Still Nazi. Even facing death. Even knowing guilt. Even understanding crimes. Still loyal to Hitler. Ideology unshaken. Prosecution would have used this. Shown jury. Shown judges. Shown world. This is Nazi mentality. This is what we fought. This is why they must be punished. Ley perfect example. Would have been star prosecution exhibit, but Ley absent. Göring filled role instead. Unrepentant, defiant, loyal to end, convicted, sentenced, escaped rope by cyanide. Both men same, both loyal, both defiant, both escaped rope. Both died on own terms. Both denied justice full victory. German Labor Front fate followed Ley's. Organization dissolved. May 1945. Offices seized. Records captured. 25 million members dispersed. Assets frozen. Bank accounts seized. Property confiscated. Headquarters ransacked. Documents collected. Becomes evidence. Nuremberg prosecutors spend months cataloging. Labor Front files. Extensive. 12 years operation. Thousands of documents. Orders. Reports. Statistics. Letters. Memos. Contracts. Financial records. Everything preserved. German efficiency documented German crimes. Files showed systematic exploitation. Foreign worker programs detailed. Camp operations recorded. Death rates calculated. Profits tracked. Money followed. Labor Front charged fees. Factories paid. SS received percentage, profit split. Industrial murder profitable. Numbers show it, financial records prove it. Ley enriched himself, built mansion, multiple properties, luxury lifestyle. While workers starved, while prisoners died, while families separated, Ley lived well, corruption alongside cruelty. Evidence documented both. Would have damned him twice. War criminal and thief, murderer and profiteer, guilty on every count. Other defendants tried to distance themselves. Speer claimed ignorance of Holocaust, claimed focused on production, not methods, claimed unaware of conditions. Documents proved otherwise. Visited camps, saw conditions, approved expansions, knew death rates, convicted anyway. Sentenced 20 years, served full term, released 1966, wrote memoirs, maintained partial denial, admitted general guilt, denied specific knowledge. Strategy partially successful, avoided death, served time, survived. Ley could not have played this. Too much evidence, too many signatures, too direct involvement. Labor Front was his creation, slave labor was his program. Deaths were his responsibility. No distance possible. No ignorance claimable, no mitigation available, only guilt, only evidence, only verdict, only sentence. Death. Ley knew it. 3 days with indictment, read evidence list, saw witness names, understood case, calculated outcome, chose alternative. Towel noose, toilet pipe, quick death, private death, controlled death, last decision, last act, last control. Brain slides tell different story. Tissue sections show degeneration. Frontal lobes damaged, chronic process, years of development, alcohol likely cause, heavy drinking documented. Since 1920s, 30 years alcoholism, brain damage inevitable, frontal lobe controls judgment, impulse control, decision making, social behavior. Damage explains erratic behavior, explains violent outbursts, explains poor decisions, but does not explain ideology. Does not explain choice to join Nazis. Does not explain choice to build slave system. Does not explain choice to continue operations. Damaged brain still made choices. Impaired judgment still chose evil. Diminished capacity still caused harm. Medical explanation, not moral excuse. Kelly sought this. Nazi virus. Pathology explaining atrocity. Found none. Brain damage insufficient. Evil remained choice. Nazis chose ideology, chose actions, chose consequences. Brain damage irrelevant. Ley responsible. Verdict unchanged. Sentence unchanged. Guilt unchanged. Only execution method changed. Self-administered October 24 instead of court-ordered October 1946. Same death, different timing, different method, same justice. Delayed, not denied. Modern analysis confirms. Neuroscientists examined slides. 21st century techniques. Advanced imaging to chemical analysis, molecular markers, findings consistent. Frontal lobe degeneration present, significant but not total. Functional capacity remained. Understanding preserved. Moral reasoning possible. Choices available. Responsibility present. Modern conclusion matches historical conclusion. Brain damage mitigating not absolving. Ley could have been tried, could have been convicted, could have been sentenced. Brain damage would be mentioned, would be considered, would be weighed, would change nothing. Evidence too strong. Crimes too clear. Guilt too obvious. Death sentence certain. Modern courts would reach same verdict. Contemporary standards would produce same result. Ley guilty then. Ley guilty now. Ley guilty forever. Historical record closed. Scientific record closed. Moral record closed. All point same direction. Guilt, responsibility. Justice deserved. Justice denied by suicide. But guilt established anyway. History judges. Science confirms. Morality condemns. Robert Ley war criminal. Killer of thousands. Enslaver of millions. Suicide escapee. Forever guilty. Cemetery location remained secret decades. Nuremberg authorities refused information. Feared neo-Nazi pilgrimage. Feared shrine creation. Feared memorial building. Same fear later. Executed war criminals, cremated. Ashes scattered secretly. No grave markers. No locations recorded. No memorials possible. But Ley buried, not cremated. Grave exists somewhere. Südfriedhof Cemetery, somewhere in grounds, unmarked, unnumbered, unknown, mixed with civilians, lost deliberately. Modern visitors walk past unknowingly. Tourist guides skip mention. Cemetery records sealed. Only officials know. Only officials remember. Public ignorant. Intentionally. Successfully. Ley wanted legacy. Built organization. Commanded millions. Shaped nation. Left mark. Got oblivion instead. Unmarked grave. unknown location, forgotten man, historical footnote, suicide paragraph, evidence file, number 21, empty chair, failed defendant, escaped prisoner, dead Nazi, nothing more. Exactly what deserved. Perfect justice. Man who caused disappearances disappeared himself. Man who erased identities erased himself. Man who created anonymous deaths died anonymously. Poetic, complete, final. Last document discovered 1998. Cornell Archives. Suicide report. Colonel Andrus to headquarters. Detailed description. Timeline reconstruction. Guard statements collected. Medical reports attached. Photographs included. Cell interior. Body position. Towel configuration. Everything documented. American thoroughness. German efficiency learned and applied. Report conclusive. Suicide method confirmed. Timeline established. Security failures identified. Recommendations made. Future prevention planned. But core mystery remained. Why October 24? Why 3 days after indictment? Why not earlier? Why not later? Why that specific moment? Report offers no answer. Ley left no explanation. Notes mention shame, mention suffering. Mention God, mention wife Inga, mention Führer, but not timing, not calculation, not specific trigger. Did he plan suicide from capture? Did he wait for indictment confirmation? Did he need to see charges written? Did he need evidence listed? Did he need undeniability? Questions unanswered. Ley took answers to grave, unmarked, unknown, unfindable. Psychiatric evaluation incomplete. Kelly interviewed Ley multiple times. Summer 1945. Documented conversations. Recorded observations. Administered tests. Collected data. Planned to write full profile. Never completed. Suicide intervened. Kelly's notes preserved. Partial picture. Ley emotionally unstable. Intellectually impaired. Morally deficient. Ideologically committed. Fanatically loyal. Completely unrepentant. Saw self as victim. Saw charges as unjust. Saw accusers as victors abusing power. No guilt, no remorse, no understanding. Complete delusion, complete denial, complete break from reality. Kelly documented it. Gilbert confirmed it. Both psychiatrists agreed. Ley understood facts, rejected implications. Knew what he did, denied wrongness. Saw evidence, rejected guilt. Perfect example of ideological blindness. Perfect example of Nazi mentality. Perfect example of what Nuremberg fought. Kelly wanted to present this. Show judges, show world. Never got chance. Suicide ended study. Profile incomplete. Data collected. Analysis partial. Conclusion suggested. Never proven. Ley escaped this too. Escaped psychological dissection. Escaped public analysis. Escaped exposure. Maintained privacy. Maintained control. Maintained power. Even powerless.